Good morning, I am Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. The leadership of ruling party hold one-on-one meeting with leaders to complete party integration process. Madhav Kumar Nepal faction objects to the strategy. Ministers and top bureaucrats continue to abuse the state coffers to purchase expensive vehicles to the dismay of the public. The United Nations condemns growing violence in Libya. The only functioning airport in Libyan capital Tripoli closed. In Kings 11 Punjab registered a 5-wicket victory over Sunrisers Hyderabad to chalk out their 4th win of the Indian Premier League. Let us now begin with the latest national political updates. The leadership faction of the ruling Nepal Communist Party has started one-on-one discussions with its top-notch leaders to reach a consensus over the stalled party integration process. The chairman duo, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and Pushpa Kamal Dahal, have opted for this strategy after failing to conclude the party integration at the provincial and the local levels. Meanwhile, senior leader Madhav Kumar Nepal's faction has objected to the leadership's newly adopted approach. The chairman duo on Sunday summoned senior leader Bhamdev Gautam for a meeting at the Prime Minister's official residence Balotthar and urged him to agree with the draft for party integration. Likewise, the chairman duo are preparing to call other influential leaders of the likes of Ishwar Pokhrel, Madhav Kumar Nepal among others for the one-on-one meeting. The leadership faction had been given the responsibility to finalize the party integration after the task force assigned to furnish the job failed to produce any result. However, analysts are of the view that there has been growing dissatisfaction within the ruling party due to the vested interests of the various internal factions.
सबै नेताहरूका स्वार्थलाई कसरी समायोजन गरिन्छ त्यसमा भर पर्छ। पेलेर लाने खालको सोचाइ भयो भनेदेखि त्यसले विद्रोह या त्यसले चाहिँ एक किसिमको पार्टीलाई चिरा पार्ने अवस्थामा लिएर जान सक्छ। होइन, निश्चित रूपले नेताहरूले कार्यकर्ताहरूलाई चेपेर जाने भएर यो समस्या आएको हो। नत्र एउटा क्राइटेरिया बनाएर पहिला क्राइटेरिया बनाएर अनि नेता छान्न खोजेको भए यो समस्या हुने थिएन। त समस्या कहाँ छ भने हरेक नेतालाई, हरेक पार्टीका नेतालाई यो मान्छे चाहिँ मेरो हुनुपर्छ, यो मान्छे मेरो हुनुपर्छ भनेको कारणले यो समस्या आएको मध्ये।
The dispute has been witnessed more in the former CPN-UML faction than Maoist Centre, with the latter silent on the issue. Meanwhile, the Madhav Kumar Nepal faction is mulling to reinstate leadership in 42 of the districts that existed prior to the unification. Leader Subhash Chandra Nemang from the leadership faction has, however, expressed confidence that the integration will be in place with a consensus and has urged the party leaders not to publicize internal issues. Based on the chairman duo Oli and Dahal's agreement, former CPN-UML have 45 out of 77 districts, with the remaining for the former Maoist Centre faction. However, as the party failed to endorse the integration plans with majority votes from the party secretariat, the chairman duo has been piling pressure on leaders individually. The latest strategy has mainly come under the flag of leader Madhav Kumar Nepal. Now, the government had issued a policy-level directive almost a year ago to check on the extravagant spending of high-ranking officials. However, ministers and top bureaucrats have continued to abuse the state coffers to purchase expensive vehicles to the dismay of the public. This has limited the government's plans to avoid frugal spendings to paper alone. The vehicle used by Forest Minister Shakti Basnet was purchased for 27 million rupees. Likewise, Agriculture and Livestock Development Minister Chakrapani Khanal has been using vehicle worth 16.3 million rupees. There are many other ministers who have been using vehicles worth over 10 million rupees as well. However, the ministers are not the only ones who have been abusing the state coffers to ride expensive vehicles. The list includes Speaker, Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, officials from constitutional bodies, justices of the Supreme Court, secretaries, deputy secretaries and other officials of different government units. The practice, however, is completely against the sentiment of the Good Governance Act and the directive issued by the present government earlier this year. The site at Singhdarbar looks more like an exhibition of expensive cars as a result of officials competing for lavish vehicles. Most of these officials have been found using cheaper vehicles for their personal homes and buying expensive vehicles for official use and for lucrative commission on offer. The Finance Ministry has only recently released budget to purchase a vehicle worth over 10 million rupees for the chairman of the National Assembly. This calls for the government to set a ceiling on the purchase amount in a bid to limit the free fall abuse of state coffers. The Supreme Court has stayed Home Ministry's circular to issue citizenship by descent to the children of Nepalese citizens who have received their citizenship by birth. The Supreme Court held a hearing yesterday after a senior advocate, Balkrishna Neupane, had filed a writ against the circular. Justice Purushottam Bhandari's single bench issued the stay order yesterday itself. Justice Bhandari's bench had even called for the defendants, here concerned government representatives, to attend the hearing. The Home Ministry had directed district administration offices across the country to provide citizenship by descent on the 2nd of April to the children of Nepalese who had acquired citizenship by birth. The Health Ministry has warned protesting medical doctors of actions if they do not give up the strike and continue halting the outpatient services. The ministry issued a press release yesterday warning the protesting doctors of actions provisioned by the Emergency Services Operation Act and other relevant laws. The ministry has also made it clear that it is impossible to address the demands of the protesting doctors. Doctors have halted all outpatient services for the past 4 days and put up a strike against the government's decision to bring them under the jurisdiction of the local level. Now, Nepal Airlines is all set to operate direct flights to Japanese city of Osaka after 3 months. The national flag carrier has said that it has furnished all necessary documents to the Civil Aviation Authority of Japan. The development is in line with an agreement reached between Nepal and Japan last year. The Nepal Airlines has said that the direct flights, which will be operational within the next 3 months, are targeting business expansion and 2020 visit Nepal year. The Kathmandu-Osaka flights thrice a week will also address transit problems, as service seekers in the past needed to go through 12 to 15 hours of transit while visiting Japan. And yesterday we had asked the service seekers at survey office in Pasthar how convenient is the service there. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
हामीले बन्दापत्र गर्नको लागि अब 4 दिन भयो हैन, नक्साहरु गर्नको लागि अब चाहिँ अब निस्किनु त अब निस्के के होला, त्यसले अब गर्नु चाहिँ अब गर्दिला।
हामी चाहिँ हिजोदेखि किताब काट्नलाई हैन आइराखेका छौं। अब त्यो किताब काट्नको लागि चाहिँ काम गरिरहेको छ।
अहिलेको प्राविधिक युग, प्रगति गर्ने युग, यो चाहिँ अहिलेको जमाना अनुसार घामै चाहिने जुन बाध्यता यो नक्सा निकाल्ने भने यो चाहिँ अलि दुःख लाग्दो कुरा लाग्यो। अरु सेवा सुविधा राम्रो छ।
हिजो आको नक्सा निकाल्न घाम नभएर नक्सा निकाल्न सकिरहेको छ।
यहाँको सेवा सुविधा त बुढापाकाहरूलाई पहिलो प्राथमिकता दिनु पर्यो हैन। त्यसपछि अब यहाँ बस्न बुढाबुढीलाई घाम पानीको लागि यहाँ बस्ने एउटा छानो भए हुन्थ्यो, यहाँ सजिलो।
बुढापाकाहरू अलि अब त्यो अलि महिलाहरूलाई बस्नको लागि चाहिँ एउटा घाम पनि नहुने, पानी पर्दा पनि यसो ओत हुने गरी एउटा सानो चौतारो जस्तो भइदिएको हो एक्जाम्पल।
नक्सालाई चाहिँ कम्प्युटराइज गरेर वितरण गर्ने सिस्टम भइदिएको भएदेखि चाहिँ हामीलाई चाहिँ सेवाग्राहीलाई चाहिँ अत्यन्तै सजिलो हुन्थ्यो र नक्सा पनि स्पष्ट आउँथ्यो, फाइलमा पनि अटाउन सजिलो हुने। अहिले यो घामबाट निकालिने नक्सालाई अत्यन्तै अब झन्झटिलो छ, ठुलो, फाइलमा पनि नआट्ने, स्पष्ट पनि नहुने।
It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, what is your take on leaders and higher officials using expensive vehicles? Your options are A. Extravagant lifestyle, B. Commission game, and C. Abuse of the state coffers. The voting is on. You can type NEWS, select your option A, B or C, and then send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. With this, let us move on to the sports news.
Sports news.
Chelsea secured a 2-0 win against West Ham United in the English Premier League match, which was played late last night. The win has propelled the Blues to the 3rd position in the league table. Eden Hazard was instrumental for Chelsea at their home ground Stamford Bridge as the Belgian forward scored a brace to take his tally to 16 goals for the season. Hazard dribbled through the centre to get past West Ham defenders and scored the first goal for the hosts in the 24th minute. Hazard was yet again in the scoresheet in the dying minutes to seal the 2-0 victory. With the win, Chelsea have climbed to the third spot in the EPL table as they have 66 points from 33 matches. West Ham United are 11th with 42 points. League leaders Liverpool have 82 points from 33 matches, while defending champions Manchester City are second with 80 points but with a game in hand. That is all for the moment. Our next English bulletin will air at 11 a.m. Keep watching Kantipur Television SD for more news and entertainment. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead.